Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Think about it. We'll get into everything that we're going to get into as we go along, but I got to rant real quick. But why would you throw out an inexperienced pitcher in a game you're still close in? And I don't care what the record is. You show up for a fucking rivalry game. But he's actually talking to him constantly. That is a sign of a really, really good coach.
It's the ToddFox Post Podcast with your host, ToddFox.
Because the only thing I want to yell is fuck! Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield post-game show. A little bit late, but that is due to work, so I apologize for that. I let you know yesterday it was going to be a little bit late, but I tell you it's going to be a good show, and hopefully everyone can join along and have a good time. We read all the comments. We take phone calls later in the show. We got a lot to talk about. If you didn't see last night's episode about the trade with Giolito and so on, we got into that covered that really good yesterday. So check that out on YouTube if you haven't seen that. It's on our page. If not, the Angels did what they had to do today. And before we get into that, 714 tickets for any concert, any promotion, anything you want to go see, game. Go to 714 tickets, put HITI, Halos in the Infield, in the promo code, and you will get automatically 10% off. It works as many times as you want to use it. Trust me, it pays off. Big time. So with that being said, also check out Noble L Works as the beers. You just walk in there and say Halos in the Infield and get $1 off of any drink. It pays off. Trust me, it's all there. Now let's get into what happened today, as I'm still kind of sweating from work. It was 95 degrees out there. I'm sure you hard workers were doing your thing out there today as well, but I got a chance to listen to both games. And look, there's not much to nitpick about in the first game. Okay, Shohei Ohtani, we talked about this last night. If you're going to make a trade to get within Toronto's, rear view mirror, you got to win these two games against Detroit. That one against Pittsburgh kind of cost you because, at the time Toronto had lost. It was another opportunity to pick up ground against Houston as well, but let's not think about that. The past is in the past. You got the two games here today, and guess what? You swept a doubleheader. It's always hard to sweep doubleheaders no matter what. But the Angels took care of business, and how'd they do it? Well, it was just Shohei Ohtani show. And there's been several fans, including Supra and others, that are super Angel Ohtani fans, and they've been asking the question, do you ever think that Shohei Ohtani will get a no-hitter in his career? And my answer to that is always yes. It's going to happen at some point. But right now, it almost happened today. One bad pitch on an 0-2 count, and he lost the no-hitter. But what a performance by him. A complete game shutout. He's able to put that on his resume. He improves to 9-5, lowers his ERA to 3.43. Mike Lorenzen takes the loss. He falls to 5-7 in an all-star appearance year. And Trey Cabbage got the scoring started, which I was really impressed in the second inning. He was down 0-2, and he went with whatever the pitcher gave him. And I wish the Angels would do that more often, but leave it to the rookie to hit one to left field, nearly hit a 3-run homer. He tattoos it back. The runner scores Moustakas, and Hunter Renfroe goes to third. Now, PTSD kicked in for me right here. Even though I wasn't watching the game, I saw the highlights later. The thing was, when the Angels went up 1-0, the Detroit, and this is my only complaint about game one. Only complaint. You had a runner at third base, meaning Hunter Renfroe. We all know he's not the speediest guy out there. We all know that he's not the fastest guy, everything else like that. If he's going to score from third base, it's going to be on a fly ball sacrifice, or it's going to be one that squirts through the infield. The Detroit Tigers, playing down 1-0, don't want to fall down 2-0 to the Angels, brought their infield in. Why the hell a contact call or contact play was given to Hunter Renfroe, I don't know. Hunter Renfroe, again, is one of your slowest runners out there. Yet you had, if it's Velasquez and it's go on contact, The only thing I trust Squid to do is to realize the ball just went off the bat. I'm going to break for home. It would have been a bang-bang play, 50-50 chance Velasquez is safe. With Renfroe running, he's out by a mile. There's no need for you to run there. As a third base coach, again, finger up the anus, Hasselman should have took his finger out of his anus and realized, hey, you know what? That's a stupid call from Nevin. Hey, Renfroe, stay here. If it's on the ground, don't move. Stay where you're at. You know, if they make a throw to first base and it goes wild, then you score. If not, we have another out to play with. We could score you on the next one. No, send him. And he gets thrown out by a mile. So right there, I'm thinking, I hope that doesn't bite us in the ass. And thankfully it didn't, because Moustakas, the next time he would come up, with this time with one out, would double again, or no, would single again, and then Renfroe, for the second straight time up, would double him over to third, and he'd had second and third, and then you had a nice little RBI single by Trey Cabbage to knock in 2 runs. And all of a sudden, it's 3-0. Trey Cabbage is providing all the offense. So you're looking really good. You got Ohtani on the bump. He's not allowing anything. He's mowing them down. And Trey Cabbage, the rookie's coming through. And it's good to see Hunter Renfroe 2 for 2. The Moose, a.k.a. El Capitan, until freaking Neto takes that rim, that C. But Moustakas, the leader, comes through again, and he continues to tear the cover off the ball. Then, of all people, a guy I've been criticizing, Taylor Ward comes through with a big home run to extend it to 5-0. And right there, that is plenty for Shohei Ohtani. That is he doesn't need any more. He didn't need any more after Cabbage. But that home run scores Moniak. And again, note to Nevin, this is why you give guys chances. This is why you play rookies with potential. Mickey Moniak not only extended his hitting streak to 16 in this game, he would extend it, spoiler alert, in game 2 to 17. And dumbass didn't want to play Moniak. And it took an injury for Moniak to be playing every day. Gee, I wonder who, not only myself, but fans like yourself, were screaming at your TV and radio and anything else that you follow the Angels on. Why not, and why aren't we playing Moniak? That's what I've been saying this entire time. He needs to be in there. Now, I understand there's going to be some people that say he strikes out too much right now. He'll learn that in time. He'll start working walks. He'll get his on-base percentage even higher. But there's no reason to be sitting a guy like Moniak. I don't even care if we're completely healthy. That guy, okay, he made an error in center field for the second time. But what does he usually do? He's rock solid out there. And he's a good hitter. He seems to find the holes. And he can go the other way. Moniak was great. And so was Taylor Ward in this game. So was Moustakas in this game. So was Hunter Renfroe in this game. And of all things, too, Renifo wasn't bad either. There was a stat that, listening to the radio, which I love this, because none of these stats will ever come out on the Bally Sportscast, ever. But they were actually pumping Renifo. And I was like, hey, you know what? They shouldn't be pumping Renifo. Renifo sucks. But Mark Langston was saying, you know, Renifo at the leadoff spot this year is actually hitting almost 400 when he's batting leadoff. I like him at leadoff. And Mark Langston was making specific points about how he's aggressive in a good way at leadoff, where he's more passive aggressive down in the lineup. And I'm like, he may be onto something, because we all thought that Renifo could be a 270 hitter if he was a slap the ball hitter. But he's just not that. But as a leadoff guy, for some reason, it's clicking. And then when I started seeing the highlights of Taylor Ward, and especially what he did on, Tuesday, when he had that RBI single up the middle. Do you notice a subtle change in Taylor Ward's swing? It's more of, I'm going to just put the barrel of the bat on the ball and see what happens. I'm just going to try to make the most contact I possibly can. Where was this all season? Literally, Taylor Ward, that's all you need to do. Because in this game, he just made good things happening by putting the barrel of the bat. If you're taking home run cuts, Taylor Ward, that's not you. It's not you either, Renfroe. Just put the bat on the ball and watch what happens. And Taylor Ward can be a good hitter. But the reason why we were shitting on you so much is you're swinging at sliders down and away. You're swinging at sliders and fastballs up in the zone, head high, shoulder high. No. Be patient. Work with it. And look what you did today. Both those guys, three guys, Ward, Renifo, and Renfroe look great today. The 3 R's came through. They look great. In 2 games, Renfroe was 6 of 9. He hadn't had 6 at-bats in his last 40 at-bats. He was like 4 for 40. No home runs. He came through with a home run. Now, I guess it's against Detroit, but Detroit's pitching has not been the problem this year. Their hitting has. But I was very pumped to see Renfroe going with what they gave him. The same thing with Taylor Ward, and Renifo was just like locked in. Like, I'm aggressive. I see that pitch, bam, I'm going to hit it. And he's not trying to hit home runs. He was just trying to put it where they weren't. And that's what we've been preaching all year. This team can make some fantastic contact. And then I started thinking to myself as these games were going by, I think a lot of this has been motivated not by Marcus Thames, not by Phil Nevin, not by any of these other coaches on this team. What I think the motivation is now, shit's real. Guys will get cut. You will lose your starting position. There are ramifications now because we are adding people. Your position is not guaranteed if you're not named Trout, Ohtani, or Rendon. And that's a good thing. Because not only does it give depth to Nevin, to where maybe he can tighten those screws in his head to make better decisions, but these guys are more hungry. You don't think Moustakas wants to lose his position? He was on the bench and forgotten about in Colorado. He has a chip on his shoulder, and he's showing why he's still Moustakas. He's like, I'm Mike motherfucking Moustakas. That's great. Hunter Renfroe, maybe in these 2 games, is realizing, damn, we're in the thick of things. The Angels are going all out. It's time to take my finger out of my ass and start hitting. And Taylor Ward's maybe thinking the same thing. Renifo's like, dude, Drury's going to be coming back right around the corner. We may go get another infielder. I got to start keeping my spot here. I don't want to ride the pine. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the motivation that these guys get and need. Because they look much better. And Taylor Ward came through again. He homered twice. He would homer later in the game. The center field, 6-0 Angels. That's all they needed. So the box score for game 1, if you want to look at it real quick, because I have double the awards to give away. Detroit pitching, Mike Lorenzen went 5 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 earned runs. The bullpen was Logue. They saved their guys because they were anticipating a fierce bullpen game. I think in this game, let's go with the I mean, come on. Who do you think's getting the Stamos for game 1? Now, the John Stamos Award for best player on the field, you can say it's Ohtani. You can, but he was 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts, so he wasn't much to talk about as far as a hitter in that game. You could say, maybe it was Taylor Ward, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Maybe it was Mike Moustakas, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, 4 at bats. Maybe it was Renfroe. You want to give it to him because he had 3 hits on 4 at bats. He looked good. He scored a run. He brought his average up to 244. He looks good. Maybe even Chad Wallach, who had the hit, who broke the 0 for 37. Or maybe Trey Cabbage, who was 1 for 3 in a sacrifice and 3 RBIs. No. You're going to give it to Shohei Ohtani. 9 innings pitched, complete game shutout, 1 hitter, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3.43 ERA, lowered to. You can't give it to anybody else. Those hits are nice by the other players, but the Angels still could have won off Trey Cabbage. It was the Shohei Ohtani show, and he made it look effortless. I can't tell you how great he looked today and how awesome it was to listen to him just mow guys down and just pitch his game. And he even got a little scare right there when they ran into him at first base, but shook it off. Good to go. Induced 2 double plays. Phenomenal. That's what you got to do. You got to beat the bad teams, and the Angels didn't struggle with this one. 6-0 is your final. Now, who gets the nacho night for game 1?
All the chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
I don't think you can give it to a position player. There was just too many zeros. I can't say, McKinstry went 0 for 4 as a leadoff guy. I gave it to him on Tuesday. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give it to Logue because 4 innings pitched. I know he was put in a tough spot to get some outs and just extend the bullpen and kind of rest their guys. I don't know why, because you had a day off the night before. But Zach Logue came in, 27-year-old, raised his ERA to 7.36. Young kid came out there, 4 innings pitched, 3 runs allowed, 6 hits allowed, 3 earned. He had 5 strikeouts, but he gave up 2 home runs, both to Taylor Ward. So Taylor Ward is his kryptonite, but he gets the nachos. I mean, because, again, all the other hitters, I mean, nobody had a hat trick. Nobody had a golden sombrero. But it was just, hey, they were dominated. Shohei Ohtani made him look foolish. So that was game 1. Angels won 6-0, fairly easy. And, again, my only bitching moment was Hunter Renfroe getting thrown out at home. How many times have we seen that? Bill Hasselman finger up the ass. Game 2, very encouraging. Again, you're able to pick up a full game because if you sweep this doubleheader, that's what you get. And the Angels have improved to 5 games over 500 by putting up a crooked number in the second inning. Patrick Sandoval improved to 6-7, with lowering his ERA to 4.13, getting more and more respectable. Manning, who is a tough pitcher, takes the loss. He goes to 3-2 with a 4.32 ERA. Again, what I was talking about, Luis Renifo. Triples for the 3rd time. Moustakas and Escobar scored in this game. 2-0 Angels off the bat. Got a nice start in the second inning. Then Zach Neto comes through with a line drive. El Capitano of the future, scoring Renifo to make it 3-0. And also in this game, you saw the defense. Now, we know that Squid can make some defensive plays, but he can't jump all that high because he's so short to the ground. And also, he doesn't have too much range on dives, and lately he's been making the routine plays look very difficult. That's not the case with Zach Neto. Injured or not injured, guy breaks for the ball, throws his body on the line, makes some spectacular plays. And he was great in the infield today. So with that 3-0 lead punching ahead, the Angels would add on. Shohei Ohtani would go deep, his 37th of the year, knocking in said Zach Neto. It's 5-0 out the gate, second game. Sandoval should cruise. But in the 3rd inning, Sandoval started doing Sandoval things. Throwing pitches, overthrowing fastballs, not placing curveballs and changeups in the right spot, hittable pitches, and just getting into deep counts. And he was getting upwards almost to 70 pitches in the 3rd inning. They would score 2 runs on weak hits, and it's 5-2. All of a sudden, Detroit back in the game. You're thinking, crap. Is he going to make it to the 5th inning? But then Eduardo Escobar goes deep on a home run to make it 6-2. And then Shohei Ohtani just goes right back to work. He didn't hit in the first game. He sure as hell did in the second, hitting his league-leading 38th home run to make it 7-2. Then Hunter Renfroe made an appearance. He hadn't hit but 1 all month, and he comes through with his 2nd of the month, driving in his 16th home run. It's 8-2. They would score a run in the 7th inning and get another run in the 8th inning to make it 8-4. But, dude, Thais, I'm so high. Came through with a 2-run single, which effectively put the game even further away, winning, going up 10-4. And then Hunter Renfroe came through with his 3rd hit of the game, scoring Taylor Ward, and it's 11-4. So in the box score here, Tigers pitching was not good at all. Manning went 5 innings, 7 runs, and you know what? I'm just going to go right into the awards on this one before we start doing the comments. Let's give out the Stamos Award again for Game 2 now. John Stamos Award was already given to Shohei Ohtani for Game 1. Do we give him double the gold? Well, you could look at it and say, you know what? Our boy Renifo had a nice game again, 3 hits and 5 at-bats, even though he was, Renfroe, 3 hits and 5 at-bats, 6 total for the day, including a home run. You could have gave it to Renifo, who had 2 RBIs, even though he was flushed to the bottom of the order. You had Escobar with 2 runs scored. You had Moniak extending his hitting streak to 17 with 2 hits. But again, Ohtani steals the spotlight in a good way. Didn't hit in the first game, went 0 for 5, but pitched a complete game shutout. So he said, you know what? I'm not pitching this game. I'm more relaxed. 2 home runs later, you're the John Stamos winner. So back-to-back in Game 1 and Game 2, that he is the Stamos Award winner. Sandoval pitched just enough to get the W. Good for him. 5 innings pitched, 2 runs on 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and only 4 strikeouts. But again, he was all over the place at times, but was able to hold on. Let's see, Webb came in for a clean inning. He did give up a walk. Then you had Reyes, who gave up a run because that's what he does. Weiss gave up a run. But Loop got the out, the only out that he faced, and Jaime pitched a good 9th inning, 3 up and 3 down. So not bad. Angels went 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position, only left 6 men on base. But they get the W. Now let's go into the Nacho Night for Game 2.
Chips, all the cheese, all the refried beans, all the onion and tomato and the guacamole, all the beef and jalapeno and the sour cream, all the nachos.
Well, you could give it to 1 or 2 pitchers. You can give it to White, who was in there for an inning. He gave up 3 runs on 3 hits, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give it to Manning. Manning, 5 innings pitched, 7 earned runs allowed. He had 5 strikeouts, but he had 3 home runs. He deserves and pitches better than this usually, but he was tattooed in this game, and he got the loss, falling to 3-2. So he will get the Nacho Night Award as he allowed 7 runs, 7 of the 11 runs the Angels scored today. So in the 2 games, the Angels scored 17 runs and only allowed 4. So you should win every time. I mean, we did see a series earlier. Only the Angels would do it. Score 25 runs in a series, or actually score 32 runs in a series and lose. Like they outscored the other team 32 to something, and they still lost the series to the Rockies, obviously because of 25 runs in the one game. But good news is the Angels did a good job here getting the W and moving on. Before we start reading some comments, I just wanted to give the probables because we have a huge series. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk some trades. We're going to talk all that other stuff because there's a lot of rumors going around. The Dodgers are in the mix. There's all sorts of bullshit going on. But we got Lucas Giolito will get the start for the Angels tomorrow in Toronto. He already arrived there yesterday. He took the short flight up there. Giolito will come in there with a record of 6-6 and 121 innings pitched, 106 hits allowed. He's got 131 strikeouts, so it's a little over a strikeout per inning, 3.79 ERA. Not bad. He will be opposed by, if I could pull it up here, it kind of froze on me there for a second. Thank you very much. He will be opposed by Kevin Gausman. And Gausman's one of their best pitchers this year, obviously coming from the San Francisco Giants, 32-year-old veteran. In 20 starts, he's 7-5 and 121 innings pitched himself. He's got a 3.18 ERA. He has allowed 13 home runs. So he's not going to be a guy you're going to hit very many home runs off of. He's a ground ball type pitcher, so it's going to be a tough one right there. He does walk guys from time to time, but he's very on point. He's probably been one of their most consistent pitchers. So tomorrow's game, we're going to have to see Giolito at his best tomorrow, no doubt about it. And then you got Reed Detmers. Here's the game on Saturday, which I'm predicting the Angels tattoo him. You got Reed Detmers 2-7. Again, throw away that the record. He's got a 4.38 ERA. Every time he pitches, he's dropping that ERA. Again, he's only allowed 11 home runs this year. I think he's just egregiously not gotten any run support. So I think that's going to change in this game because who's he facing? Well, he's facing Alex Manoah. And if you've been following the Alex Manoah novella, he's been up and down for the Toronto Blue Jays literally all the way down to single A and development league. He was that bad. His attitude was terrible. His regimen, he put on weight. He looked shit. He's 2-8 so far. He's allowed 79 hits in 72 innings pitched, 53 runs. He's got an ERA of 6.10, and he's walked 51 guys. So, yeah, he's hittable. And unless something's turned the page for him, I like the Angels' chances in that game. And then game 3, which is going to be a morning game. It's going to be an Apple TV game, or no, it's going to be a Peacock game. Sorry. It's going to be a shitty Peacock game. It's going to be Berrios for the Toronto Blue Jays. Berrios is in 21 games started. He's 8-7 in 124 innings pitched. He's allowed 110 hits. He's got a 3.40 ERA, 14 home runs allowed. He's good about 70% of the time, but he will get roughed up at times. I'm hoping it's Sunday. We really need to win this series and take 2 out of 3. A sweep would be great, but 2 out of 3 is imperative. He'll be opposed by Tyler Anderson. Again, everyone's question mark as far as the Angels starter. He's a tough one right there to gauge. In 17 starts, he's 5-2. He usually gets pretty good run support, but 93 innings pitched by Tyler Anderson, 104 hits allowed. That's not good for a guy we just signed. He's walked 40 guys as well. He's sporting an ERA of 5.23. Yikes. I'm scared about that game. I'm confident about Saturday, and I'm iffy about Friday because we haven't seen Lucas Giolito, but it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a fun series. Toronto fans are going to be out in full force. So, yes, it's going to be a good series. So let's get into the comments, shall we? Let's see. Angelo Rios says, let's go. Matty Matt says, Ohtani is the GOAT. Dan Rios says, sweep. Anaheim looking good for a run. Sean says, we ain't looking for new fans. Applications closed a long time ago. Yes. No honks right now. No extra honks. You got to work your way into the rotation. Mr. Move says, let's fucking go. Just got off work. UPS busted my ass and got the good news. 2 W's. Let's fucking go. Light that baby up. I'm a honk, honk, honk. Fill that out in the IE. It was 105. Yeah, I was 95 where I was at. So, yes, you had it worse. And, yes, I don't even know if you guys got a fan in your trucks, dude. And hopefully everything goes good with that strike. Ryan says, but all the people talking about the trades, that's going to be all gone. So I feel like I'm just focused on taking this team to the playoffs. Shohei getting cocky, and I love it. If that's a direct quote, Ryan, I love that as well because that's a winning attitude.
Wow, winning.
Rick says, Cabbage is awesome. Hell yeah, he is. Mateo says, we're going streaking. Where are we going streaking?
Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Ryan says Angels won despite Hasselman. Nevin is not very philosophical. Let's see. Also, Walsh and Davidson finally got DFA'd. And that's the thing. Walsh has a terrible attitude. Again, a guy that I liked and a guy that I thought was going to be a first baseman to be for a while. And I thought we solved that position in 2021. But obviously last year's bad season, this year with the injury, the eye problem, you can't blame it on the eye problem. He was just outright swinging at everything. And they made the right move. And they said, okay, we play for the name on the chest, not the back. I know you've endured yourself to the fans, but you're just not hitting. And Walsh was given the opportunity to go to AAA. And Walsh literally said, I'm not reporting. So they literally said, well, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And it sucks because I did like the guy. I wanted him to succeed. But it is what it is. If you're not producing, man, again, don't let the door hit you on the way out, especially if you have a bad attitude. And I've been trying to get Rendon out the way too, but he's 38 million reasons why he's got to stay. Mickey Mouse is a pillar of the Angels, Mr. Move says. You said Bally play it? Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? Once I say it, it's just got to happen. Because, Hey, how'd you guys like that double play there? They were able to get 2 brownies for 1. Oh my God! Did you see the home runs? Did you see Hunter? Hunter was out there. Renfroe had 6 hits and 9 at bats. It was 69. I said 69. Oh my God! And then it pauses. That's awesome. See, even Bally's is off today, right?
Whopper, 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 whopper.
Yeah, and there's going to be none of this, too, because, again, after the game, I'm driving home. I turn on Roger Lodge. I want to see what that twisted idiot is saying, and there was none of this.
Anymore. I just can't. And they can fire me if they want, but I can't sit around and listen to negative phone call after negative phone call. If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo hog for life like me, then shut up with
Nevin's gotta go.
It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. Forget it. Let it go. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Boy, you bet you he was tooting his horn. He gets on there, and he's like, oh, my goodness, we got so much to talk about. There's been so much to happen. Didn't I tell you Artie Moreno was going to... Shut up! Shut up! Can't stand it. I tried to listen to him. I literally did. I wanted to do my homework and get as much crap as I could on him, and I couldn't get through the first 2 minutes. He's terrible. Why anyone still listens to him, I have no idea. It's a sports lodge. My top plays at 5. Shut up. Your guarantees suck. You always say, I mean, he's the same moron that said the Lakers were going to sweep the Broncos, the Nuggets. He's the same idiot that said the Angels were going to sweep the Astros. Lodge's locks. God awful. God awful. But again, getting back to Ryan's comment, he says, Walsh and Davidson finally DFA'd. Squid when? Jeez, I don't know. I mean, if Walsh can get friggin' DFA'd, Squid should too. But yes. Also, let's line drive leads to home runs. It does, Mateo. Balls, and damn chance. Justin Options very pumped up. Well, actually.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Tonight, it's time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos
and home runs and World Series. Neto making an error was because Squid was next to him. Angel Central says, go Halos. Juan checks in from Toronto. He's ready for that goddamn game up there. He's in Toronto himself. What am I going to do now with my Walshy jersey? I don't know, Juan. I'm going to have to get you another one. Good people should be held accountable, Mr. Moves. Hope that Candelero trade happens. At this point, they do not need Mangina Rendon already. Send him somewhere else and eat part of that contract so teams can get him, or other teams can get him. Mr. Moves says, laugh out loud, buddy needs more than some screws tightened. Exactly. Stukas twice today, baby. Maybe Rendon needs the same thing. Sean says Jordan Adams just got pulled during the AAA game, so maybe the Angels are about to make another move. It could be, Sean, because, again, I kind of raised my eyebrow, but then, cautiously, whenever the Angels remove a guy, I'm like, it could be just because they're promoting him or sending him down or something. But after what happened with Edgar the other day, it could be, man. Also, Mick says, love young guys coming up this season. Me too. Light the fire under their asses because y'all jobs are on the line. Exactly. Rick Guzman says Ward just gets lucky. Shohei Stamos, yep, back-to-back. The Angels need to consider the series against the Blue Jays as a playoff series. Absolutely. If one guy on the Angels doesn't, they're sadly mistaken. That's an enormous series. Angel Central says balls, and Moniak somehow hitting lefties.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and
Moniak hitting lefties. Because, dude, again, 17-game hitting streak. It speaks for itself. You should not be sitting this guy. He's only going to get better. Why sit a guy who has that much potential? Eric says first game versus the Tigers, only got one hit, and with that we go live. Ryan says, why is Squid still on the roster and playing? Neto is already back. If the Angels are really serious about a playoff push, they cannot continue to use Squid. Yes, Squid is the quintessential bad luck charm to this team. And I really thought they would have sent our boy Stefanik down. But somehow he still has a roster spot. They didn't want to push Neto twice today, so that's the reason why you had Squid play. I don't want to see Squid start at all. Because the next 25 games, look at their schedule, guys and gals. They literally play nobody under 500 the next 25 games. Every team they play is above 500. That is a tough-ass schedule. That is a real tough-ass schedule. So we're going to see what the Angels are made out of. Mr. Move says, balls, and the season starts today.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and John Stamos.
No, you want...
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Chad called a beautiful game for Ohtani and was also so happy for him because he finally got a hit. Exactly, Caesar. That was good to see, too. I saw the highlights of him and Moustakas. Again, Moustakas being the leader. Knowing the fact that your backup catcher's 0 for 37 and you're on top of the rail, smacking your hand on the rail, giving him shit because he came up with a big hit. That's awesome. That is awesome. Again, that's character building and chemistry building for the team and the dugout and everyone in the clubhouse. That's awesome. That should have been happening last year. Give all the flowers today, Savage Garden. Justin Options says Manning got shelled today. Tomorrow's game is on stupid Apple TV. Also, how is everyone? Eric is checking in right now. Also, Sports News says, after this sweep, screw it, let's go after Verlander. I don't know, man. Watch Perry turn this team into Moneyball 2.0. Here's the thing about Perry. A lot of people were very skeptical, can't even talk, about Perry. They were like, you know what? Is he just a freaking mouthpiece? Is he this? Is he that? He's a yes man? I think it's pretty clear now, judging what our boy Epler did for so long here in Anaheim compared to what our boy Perry's done. Perry's revamped the farm system, not to top 10, but he's got some pretty good pieces in there to where it's allowing us to make these trades. We didn't have to lose anybody on the major league roster, although Squid would have been nice. But we literally gave him 2 prospects who may or may not turn into something. And we were able to get 2 players back to help us in a playoff push, where it was always addition by subtraction under Epler, and Perry was forced to make these other moves or just didn't have the green to do it. We're up against the cap. But now it's like green light, man. Go out there. We're up against the cap. Fuck it. Do it. We got to do it. We got to get to the playoffs. I love that mentality. I like it. It's brought a fire in me and my inner fandom, and I'm pretty sure it has for you guys too. Just judging by the comments and what you guys are saying, you guys are just as pumped up as I am. And it's about goddamn time. And if Perry pulls this shit off and we make the playoffs, just like Squid, whether Squid gets the final out or hits a game-winning home run to send us to the playoffs, I'm still not giving him the Stamos. I'm still not giving him the credit. He's not the reason why we're there. Same with Artie Moreno. Artie Moreno may have said, take the green light, go over the luxury tax. But how long did it take your dumb ass to do this? How long have you been dicking around thinking you're the man, thinking you're Jerry Jones, thinking you could run a team better than anyone else in the league? You never trusted your GM. That's why Epler's gone. But now that Perry can actually fire back and say, no, I don't think we should do this. He's been quoted. People have been saying Perry's a stand-up guy. When there's people out there saying that he's a freaking mouthpiece. I don't think so. You're seeing a different mentality. And maybe dumbass Artie finally got the memo that I can't mess with his team. I got to let somebody else run it. And if he lets somebody else run it, good things could happen. And Perry was quoted today saying, you know what, we've had peaks and valleys. It's been up and down, unfortunately, for Angel fans. We've looked good at times, we've looked bad at times. But I'm trying to tweak this team to make it good so we can make the playoffs. That's our goal, catching the playoffs, catching fire, staying hot. I love that. I love that. And again, if Perry's just finally, or not Perry, Artie's finally making the decision to trust his general manager to give him the resources to do what he's going to do, I'm not giving you credit because that's shit you should have did years ago. Not now when it's Ohtani or else. You should have did that 2-3 years ago. Or you should have rebuilt. You should have put your freaking ego aside and said, you know what? We're not the Dodgers. We're the Angels. And if we need to rebuild, we're going to fucking rebuild. You didn't do it. So if Artie's in the freaking booth and the Angels are right there in September and we're about to clinch a wild card spot, fuck you, Bally's, because I know you're going to turn the camera right on him and be like, all the credit to freaking Artie Moreno. And then you're going to have Roger Lodge say, oh, I can't wait to interview Artie Moreno. 2 years ago, dumbass Roger Lodge was in front of the Big A in under the hats or close to the hats, and he was like, oh, my God, Artie Moreno, you spent the money and you brought these players in. No, you spent the money. You had the first part of that correct. You did not bring those. You did not scout those players. You did not find those players. You did not negotiate with those players. That was Perry Manassian. But no, Perry Manassian never got credit from AIM 830. And again, Roger leads with Artie Moreno going over the luxury tax. Bootlicking houseman. Bootlicking houseman. Terrible shit broadcaster. Go back to Blind Date. Because, again, only credit I'm going to give if we see the Angels making a playoff run is Perry fucking Big Balls Manassian. Because he's not done. And when we see the trigger be pulled a couple more times before Tuesday, we will know it's Perry Manassian doing the shit. Because, again, he's the one scouting these guys that are coming through the system that all of a sudden magically Inland Empire looks good. All of a sudden Trash Pandas for the last 2 years look good. Salt Lake Bees, who were always 3rd and 4th in their division, look good. They're bringing up talent with pitchers that nobody thought was going to be good. Everyone except 2 players they've brought up this year have been good. There's a reason and that things are working better than they have in the last 10 years. Perry fucking Big Balls Manassian. And I am not going to talk shit on him. When he's raking in players, when he's drafting guys, when he's trading for guys, when he's signing free agents to help, because again, it's not his fault that Mangina is on this team, Rendon's sucking the life out of this team. He's like a tick that burrows into your skin and just getting fatter by the minute. He can't do it. That's Epler's fuck up. That's not his. He's been doing everything to shed weight since he's gotten here. He was given a fucked up situation, and he's turned the Angels around. So if he gets to the playoffs this year, he better be in line with one of those other GMs of the year. And I don't care if they say, oh, well, he has Trout and Ohtani, and he should have them in the play. Did you not see what this team was before he got here? I think he's worked wonders. I really do. He's a hell of a GM, and he's got my vote every day of the week. Sorry, I had to rant. I love the guy. I had to give him some love, man. I really do. After the sweep, screw it. Let's trade for Verlander. J-Ram says, give Wallach props. Underrated behind the mask. Caught the no-hitter for Detmers last year and a one-hitter for Ohtani. He also caught another one-hitter, J-Ram, last year. So he is a very good catcher. I like what he can do. I just feel that, he's got to hit a little bit more. And again, with Ohapi coming back, he is unfortunately the odd man out. Acropolis, second base is we need another frontline starter and to win the whole thing. To go deep in the postseason. I'm all there for you. You picture a rotation with Ohtani, another frontline starter, and Giolito, and you're able to throw Canning and freaking Sandoval at 4. Dude, that's a winning combination. With a retooled bullpen and with starters coming back like Drury, Ohapi, Trout, this lineup this team just all of a sudden looks far better than it was just a couple weeks ago. I do feel really bad for Walsh. I do too, but part of it's his. His fault. Mr. Move says the Snoop Meal, laugh out loud. Hey guys, I'm telling you what, $14. That sounds like a lot of money, but what you get is a huge ass box with a big ass brownie and a lot of chicken with cheese and all kinds of other things and a drink. I love Gooby. Holden says hi. Let's see. Also, Mateo says, do you think we will have sellout crowds in August and September? I'm taking one game at a time, my friend. And this Toronto series, 3 biggest games of the year until we play our next series. Again, 25 straight games against above 500 teams. Blind date recap right there. Sports News says, well, my Walsh jersey is definitely going to sell. Also, Phil Nevin got his 100th win as manager today. You know what I got to say to Nevin?
Oh, good for you.
Fuck you. Because he's not the reason why we're winning.
Fuck off, loser.
Exactly. Mario says, I liked Walsh too, but I was hoping he could figure it out. But we got guys that can be in there producing. Exactly. It's you have to produce. I mean, it's okay if we're the Pirates. It's okay if we're a bottom feeder like Oakland. And yeah, do your thing up here. Strike out as much as you want. It doesn't matter. Hit into double plays for all I care. But we're a team trying to get to the postseason. We can't have easy outs. Squid. Also, Squid is the best base stealer in the team, though. That's the catch-22 with that. And he's probably one of the fastest dudes on top of it. Send Brendan Drury to Drury Lane. Let's see. Mario says, I already got that one. I hope we resign Moose. Todd, can you verify Jordan Adams was removed from today's game? I'll check on that one, Caesar. Let's see. While we're getting into these comments here, maybe I'll check on them when we get a phone call. The Jays series is an excellent opportunity to catch up to them in the wild card spot. Again, yeah, you're 3 games back. If you take 2 out of 3, you're 2 games back. You gained a game. But if you sweep, you're fucking tied. Mr. Moose is not to be a dick, but our third base coach shouldn't be allowed on the diamond. You're not being a dick. You're being smart about it. He shouldn't be. If we make a wild card, do you think we can make a run? Matt, all you got to do is get to the tournament. Baseball is not baseball from the 90s or even the early 2000s. Well, maybe it is, because 2002 proved that all you got to do is make the postseason. The overwhelming favorite that year, the Oakland A's. The overwhelming favorite also with that year was the Minnesota Twins, which everyone forgets about. And also the Giants. And the Angels went through two of those 3 teams. Oakland didn't even make it to the championship round. We did. And we were the wild card. Several teams have won in the wild card's position. We've had several times both wild card teams have matched up in the World Series. They've tried to make it more important for the division leaders to win their division to get to the World Series. But just like in hockey or in football, the last month of the season, if you're hot, you ride that bitch into the postseason. If you keep it going, the sky's the limit. I've always said, dude, if the Angels can just get in the postseason, you never know. We could get dumped right away, just like in 2014 with a stellar-ass record, or we could limp into the postseason, barely make it, and all of a sudden flip a fucking switch and just play with reckless abandonment, not care about our record because the season would start that night, and you just let it all flow. And good things happen. When teams don't feel the pressure of 115 wins, then I feel that they are able to play more loose, and now it's just about focusing on who's in front of you. You don't worry about, well, we won 115 games in division. We've got to win. We got the pressure. It's like, no, got in as a wild card, and we're not supposed to be here, but we're gonna really, stick it to you. We're gonna prove you wrong, and I think that's where the Angels can come in. They don't have a recent distinctive resume of being in the postseason, so it's going to be new for most of these players outside of Moustakas and a few veterans. It's going to be new, and that's if they make it. So if they make it, I look for good things to happen. That's why I'm kind of pumped. Much prouder to be an Angels fan today than we found out. We found our huevos, exactly. I really want to hear the conversation between Perry and Artie going over the luxury tax. I think the impression last night was accurate, but I want to hear it for myself. Unfinished business. Yeah, he's going to be like something like, well, don't spend too much, because if you spend too much, I have to dip into my money for scotch. I can't afford the scotch. And then Perry's like, okay, and he's wiping his face and everything. And he's like, I'll do what I can, but you realize I've got to go quite a bit over the luxury tax if we want to make this thing go. You could buy more scotch if we win more games and get to the postseason. Did someone say more scotch? Yeah, I did. So that's probably how it did. Artie's got unfinished business. Perry is the best GM for the Angels in the last decade. Boy, oh boy, I can't disagree with that one. Mr. Move says, Artie, please just sell. We should have this mentality in the late 20 teens. Exactly. Mateo says, I was watching the MLB Network to see what they had to say about Ohtani and Giolito. They mentioned that Artie is a great owner. Bullshit. Again, he gets all the credit for fucking what? Like, okay, if you want to, again, I'm going to do a deep dive when this season is over, and be on the lookout on the YouTube page. I will break down exactly Artie's moves from the moment he purchased the team from Disney. Right away, he started cutting payroll. And to what position? Not any players. He cut payroll to scouts. See, nobody saw what Disney was doing behind the scenes. They were losing $10 to $20 million on the Angels every year because they put the max money into scouting and development. And they actually paid the players that came through their system. And the Angels were flourishing. And the fruits of the labor actually took course from 2001 to about 2009. And then it was all the dog shit starting to go from Artie's regime started kicking in. Once they played every card that Disney had to play, and I'll get into this, it will make sense on what type of players the Angels were drafting back in the day compared to Artie's guys that he was drafting and his GMs and his way of doing things. So I don't understand how the MLB Network can even come close to saying he's a great manager or a great owner. He's not. Just because he kept beer prices down and parking prices down up until this season, that doesn't give you shit. Again, nearly going a decade without the postseason. If we don't get to the postseason this year, it'll be 9 years. So you tell me where he's such a great owner. Unfinished business, Lafayette, Artie, and Lodge probably sitting around a dinner table blowing smoke up their asses. I could see that. Angels win, they get Ohtani. I think Adele goes to St. Louis. I could see that too. St. Louis is going to be starving for players, especially if they make that Dodger trade, which I think is a stupid, unnecessary move for the Dodgers. They're likely getting Arenado just to keep him away from the Giants and the Diamondbacks. Mr. Move says Perry's got balls, and more balls. So let's just play this for him because he absolutely deserves it.
I was pretty cocky. I want balls and
Perry's got balls. Dan says, don't forget Roger sells silver and gold now. He does. He's probably downtown L.A. doing it too. Yes, Artie is the worst owner ever. Never spends money, just like the A's owner. Mateo says, watch his team take off when Drury, Hoppy, and Trout return. That's what we're hoping for. It's funny, guys, praising Artie now. It's because, is it because he's willing to go over the luxury tax for the first time? They were so in on the Ohtani trade. Exactly. They have nothing to talk about now other than the biggest fish now is Nolan Arenado. Again, they were 24/7. You had guys out there like what is it? His name from he's on ESPN, but he's Fernando's favorite, Mad Dog Russo. Don't trade for Ohtani. I hate Ohtani and the Angels. Ohtani shouldn't be on the Angels. He should be on a winner. All he cares about is East Coast and the San Francisco Giants. He's an old fart that should be long removed from any kind of television media. Then you got Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith is like, I passed by Anaheim Stadium. And what do I see? I see a beautiful stadium. But I know the team that plays in that stadium is irrelevant. What the fuck do you know? You're a Knicks fan and a racist. You're over there calling Ohtani, oh, he can't be the face of the organization because he doesn't talk English. But you know goddamn well, Stephen A. Smith and Mad Dog Russo, if he goes to the East Coast, I think Shohei Ohtani can be one of the greatest players of all time. He will be great. And he is on a world championship team far removed from Anaheim. That's his shitty take because he does not know baseball. And Mad Dog Russo will be, I told you. But you know what? Fuck both of you. Because if the Angels make the postseason, you can shove both your fingers up your asses. Because it'll be a good day for the Angels, even if they get knocked out in the first or second round, to make it and to do what you said couldn't be done. And it would even be a bigger fuck you if we re-signed Ohtani, because you know that these guys are just stroking it until they heard the news that Ohtani wasn't going anywhere. Because that would have gave him content for weeks. Oh, the new team that he's on. Oh, look at them now. They're much better than Anaheim. Look at him in a different jersey. Is he going to pitch tonight? Is he going to hit tonight? Look at that home run. Oh. But imagine if we screw him here too, which we already did by keeping him. Imagine if we screw him in the offseason and we actually re-sign him. Man, they will not be able to get over that. Because all these guys that are on TV, they all have their favorite teams. And they want Ohtani on their set favorite team. All these New York Met lovers, Yankee lovers, Red Sox lovers. Most of the guys that are on these networks love an East Coast team. Let's just be real. The only one that's different is Mad Dog because he's so fucking old. Like so old. Get this. He went to Giants games when they played in the Polo Grounds. That's how fucking old he is. So that's the only reason why he likes the Giants on the West Coast. Because he never traded allegiances. But other than that, he's a New Yorker through and through. Just like Stephen A. He's a Philadelphia, New York, or whatever the hell he is. So that's my rant on them. I can't stand them. Sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed the Stephen A. Smith. I try to do my best Stephen A. Smith. You know, yeah. Let's see. Trout can't be hitting 250 when he comes back. And I hope he's not. Let me guess the pot brownie laugh aloud. Screw Verlander and Scherzer. Where is Max Stassi? He ain't coming back. There's a good feeling of mine that no matter what kind of issue he's going through off the field, he would have came back. We would have gotten some news. There is like no news. Stassi's been like swept under the rug. Well, at least Ohtani enjoyed cake after the second game. And that's the other thing. You literally had 40 minutes in between game 1 and game 2. That's unheard of. I mean, that's almost as dumb as last year and the year before, or was it the year before, when they were doing double headers at 7 innings. That was so stupid. If we sweep the Blue Jays, we're right back in this. Absolutely. Angels are going on a Phillies-like run. Honk, honk. Angels Central's already ready with the honks. He's like... Also, if we choose one player to be re-signed, who would you choose between Gio Urshela and Mike Moustakas? Damn, that's a tough question. I like both of them. They're both good clubhouse guys. If Rendon were gone, I'd say both. I'd say you keep both of them and you platoon them at third. I really like both those guys, and I like Escobar too. But damn, that is a tough question, man. I would have to lean towards Gio, slightly Gio. But I love Moustakas' presence in the clubhouse. I love his leadership. That is a tough question, man. That's a good question, but tough. Mr. Move says we need to gift Perry some windshield wipers for Artie Splash. Exactly. There's a no splash zone like at SeaWorld for Artie Moreno. Padres listening to Soto trade offers. That's huge right there. I'd say Jack Flattery or Stroman next. I would go Stroman, Alex, because Flattery's been terrible. And then Mateo says, "Oh, Tony James." Caesar said, "Todd, let's not leave out the great Bill Stoneman. He was a good GM. He was, and he was the architect of that World Series. I just think that he made a wrong decision when he chose to retire and give the reins to Tony Regan's. That was not a good move. Halos with a sweep today. Adrian says, Mama Luigi says, what would a trade package of Rendon, Squid, Renifo, and Adele get you? That would probably get you a frontline pitcher. It probably would, because people would say we're going to fix Adele. We're going to make Renifo the hitter he's supposed to be. Squid can be a late inning defensive replacement and a base runner, just like how we have him. And Rendon can go to hell. That would be the trade right there. They would only take that too if Rendon's contract was paid, or at least a good 60 to 70%, which I don't see Artie or Perry doing. Todd Fox been on sick one the last couple nights. Thank you, sir. The mainstream media is dying. They say stupid shit just to stay alive. They do. And podcasts like this one are taking over. I'm telling you, not mine in particular. This one's a small one. Not the Halos in the Infield post game or podcast, nothing like that. We do our best to provide the coverage. But the ones that are doing good are the, McAfee's before he sold out, and others that rake in thousands of viewers. I mean, they're more power to them. They're taking away from a media giant that just got too damn greedy. Ryan says, just right after the doubleheader, MVP odds were haywire. Shohei at 10,000. It's insane. Has that ever happened before? Not in my expertise with that. Hey, Bally's, did Ohtani pitch today? Hey, did you know that Ohtani pitched earlier today and got a one-hit shutout? Complete game. And guess what? He had 2 home runs. Did you say 2 home runs? Does he get 2 brownies? That's so terrible. Let's see. Also, Stephen A. Smith's strong suit is basketball. Always been, always will be. Exactly. So then why does he talk even football? Please stop laugh out loud. I really don't like Mad Dog. I don't hate him, but I can't stand him. I can't either. Sorry. Laughing my ass off. Stephen A. Smith would blow in his panties if Ohtani was in the East Coast player. He would. Where's Herman Marquez? I don't know. So right about Stephen A. Halo Joe says. What's up, Halo Joe? Again, voice of God right there. He has an awesome voice. Eric says Mateo is with that Bally's. Hit it right there. What's crazy is the media has already shifted to saying Ohtani, where is he going in the offseason? I'd love for him to choke on their words. Exactly. Because Ohtani is like their main point. They can get international viewers with that. And with him not moving anywhere, doesn't move their needle. Eric says, Todd, if my Mariners, I want him back. Or if it's not my Mariners, I want him to go back to the Angels. See, I love that, Eric. You're always nice like that. My favorite Angels channel is live. Let's fucking go. Thank you. It's your boy. Mateo says, would it be worth sending Trout and Ohapi down to AAA for a rehab assignment? They may or may not want. Well, Ohapi will definitely. Trout, I don't know. I think Trout's just going to be like, I'm Mike fucking Trout, and he's just going to come up. I hope we get off of Rendon. Exactly. I don't see how the Angels get out of Rendon's contract. It's not going to be this year. It's your boy says, if we can get off Rendon's contract in the near future, it would make so much more hopeful, even with Artie in charge. And it would be. Let's get Alcantara or Lopez from the Marlins. See, the thing is, Marlins are in a freaking good division. And they're not only in a good division, they're competing. They're in the playoff run right now. So, I mean, there's no way the Marlins are going to give up either one of those guys. Skull Zone, my bro right there. If you're a Vikings fan, he's the page to go to. He says Todd Fox is the best. Skull Zone's the best. I love his Vikings content, and I'm not even a Vikings fan. So I suggest check out his YouTube. Can we get Blake Snell? Well, all bets are off right now. I mean, the Padres, again, are tanking. So with them tanking, I don't think they're gonna go in full sell mode, but there are guys that are gonna be available and they will be listening. But again, he was offered that contract. Papa Fox is feeling much better. He's loving the team. He actually wants to go to a game soon, so we'll have to see. Mr. Move says, hey, this is a podcast, the real stuff, buddy. Don't sell yourself short. You guys are top tier. Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. I hope we get another infielder. I heard that we could get Candelario. Yeah, that is the rumor right now. And so, yes, Walshy is done, Don. 2 things. They realized it wasn't the neuro stuff. He either just wasn't rehabbing or playing as good as they thought. He's missing a lot. And then when he was told, hey, bro, you got to go down to AAA. We need you to work down there. He gave him the big FU. And that was it for him. They told him he can go walk. He had a bad attitude. He didn't report. So don't forget Stephen A. Smith is covering UFC. Yeah, that makes him really on point for baseball. Josh Hamilton should apologize to the Angels. David says. Also, a year ago at this time, we were saying how much this team sucked, and we have so much, hope for this team moving forward. So it's good to know. St. Louis wants pitchers from the Dodgers like Bobby Miller or Sheenan and Muncy or Chris Taylor. I wouldn't take Chris Taylor if I were the Cardinals. He's a strikeout machine. Max Muncy would work there in St. Louis. Bobby Miller, absolutely, I would go for. Sheenan, not so much. So yeah, if I'm the Cards, let's rape the Dodgers. I can't watch the Diamondbacks baseball on Bally Sports. Why not? Because they switched, right? Because I think Bally Sports lost their contract with them. Mr. Move says we need to move off of Squid, Rendon, or Giffo for your sake, LOL. Yes, Caesar says your show is a grassroots show. The future is bright. I appreciate it, Caesar. Also, how much do you guarantee that if we're in contention and by the end of August, we will see Artie in a suite? Dude, Mateo, I will buy you a suite if he's not in the suite in September. Like for next year, if you can't make it back down here, I know you're coming in August, Mateo, to a game. But if you can't make a game this year and Artie Moreno's not in a suite this year, next year the tickets are on me, buddy. I guarantee you we're going to see Farty Moreno slobbering and spitting on the fans below in the club section or the whatever section whatever box he has. He's going to be slobbering on the fans below. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, because he's going to want to be front and center, and he's going to want to take credit for everything, because he has such a huge ego. So Walsh was the one hiding stuff in the White House, Mr. Moose says. When is Bally's going to go under completely? I fucking hate that channel. It could be as early as the end of this season, Mama Luigi. It really could, because they have lost contracts with certain teams, but not with us yet. Dodger lineup would be dangerous with Mookie. It would be. Freddie Freeman and Arenado, that would be the best three. And you're forgetting also they have that dude from, why am I forgetting his name, from Boston, who had an all-star year too. They've got some power, but do they have the pitching? That's where I don't think this is a normal Dodger team. Mr. Move says, I'll go on Artie's suite myself and show my Halo honk. He's going to be like, show me your honk. Mama Luigi says 714 tickets, 714 tickets. Also, can Todd imitate Artie after the Angels clinch a playoff spot? Boy, oh boy, I don't that's going to be one thing. The Angels grandma says, are the Angels ever going to bring Fletcher back up? They did give him $25 million contract. I kind of miss Fletcher. Right now, Angels grandma, they've pretty much forgotten him. Stefanik being up here and Fletcher not being up here, that should tell you something. I think the Angels have moved on. I think there were subtle things in the offseason that Perry said that I believed until injuries happened, the only reason why we saw Fletcher at all this year. And it's unfortunate, but I think they're ready to move on. That's not a Perry guy. Perry is going to go with his guys, and Perry's going to support his guys. And I think you're starting to see more and more of Epler's guys go by the wayside. So that's just my thing. I know he was a fan favorite, but I just don't see him being a part of this thing. Artie better buy the suite for 714 tickets at least. Exactly. Artie might be so boozed up he may forget that he owns a team. Angel Central says, heard Gooby say Drury could be back for the Braves series. I think he was having too much of the brownies, because I think he's going to be back on the next homestand. I think that's a little too early for Drury, but I could be wrong. Ohapi looks mid-August, and Trout looks like around August 14th or a little bit before that. So those three guys in the lineup, I mean, if we're forgetting how freaking good Drury was before he went down. I mean, he really got off to a slow start, and then he was just raking. And there was a couple weeks, even though we were losing, the only guy knocking in runs was freaking Drury. Drudge, the Jury, and Executioner. I like that. Showtime says, I don't trust Artie Moreno to put together a winning team. That's why we got to trust freaking Perry. Don't trust Artie. Can they take Los Angeles out of the name and put Anaheim back in? Only if we get a new owner, because I think, again, that would be an ego hit on Artie. Please send the cockroach down when Drury returns. I hope so, too. Honestly, I'm in no hurry to see Trout back in the lineup. R. Martinez says, if you guys want to call in, 714-598-3221. We'll stay on for like another 20 minutes, and then I got a podcast with my boy Fernando to recap this series and get into the series that was or that is going to be Toronto. So you're going to look out for that because that will be released tomorrow. So I still got to pull another hour, so got 20 minutes here if you want to take a couple phone calls. It's the Halo Honk line.
Is this the Sports Lodge with Roger Lodge?
It's the Sports Lodge. I got family 4-packs coming out my anus.
Oh, geez, sweet.
Just say the phrase that pays. Do you know
I want to win them. What trivia question do I have to answer?
All you have to do is say.
Player is?
No, all you have to do is say, Roger, you are a bootlicking houseman, and Artie Moreno is your god, and you win the tickets.
Roger Lodge, you are the biggest bootlicking houseman, and Artie Moreno is your lover, and so is John Stamos.
Oh yeah,
John Stamos choked on me.
So what do you got tonight? How'd you like the doubleheader sweep, man?
Geez, well, I mean, I couldn't watch a little of the second half. Dad, I hope you're not listening, but I did watch a little bit during class.
Uh-huh.
So there is that. I really enjoyed it. These doubleheaders are kind of fun for me since, I live in the West Coast and I follow a West Coast team, and we don't really get rainouts and any of that. So doubleheaders are always a rarity for these West Coast teams. But I really liked it. Also this came on my mind. I was checking on the Twitters, and Jordan Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Today was a scheduled day off for him, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
So I don't remember who was asking and who was asking for the check source, but there's that. But it was fun. I really, I was talking to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, you think is this Ohtani's first ever no hitter?" I'm like, "Yeah." And the moment he says that, he gives up a hit on 2 strikes, and I was like, "Geez."
Then
it's your
dad's fault.
I sent him out of the room after that.
Yeah, it's your dad's fault because that's one thing you never say. I mean, what is it? The Sandoval one from a couple years ago when I think they were in Texas or no, it wasn't Texas. Where were they it was Minnesota. They were going out of their way to tell you Sandoval was throwing a no-hitter, and they were flashing it on the bottom. They were saying it every inning. It's like, shut the fuck up. A real fan's going to see 0, 0, 0. And then you keep it to yourself. We have the dumbest broadcasters. That's why the only broadcasters I'll listen to on AM 830 is Terry and freaking Mark Langston. They're the greatest. I mean, Gooby, unfortunately, I'm giddy for Gooby, but I think he's gone into that honkism.
I think it's just it's the higher ups. It's Artie and the dude that's running. Who's the president? John Caprino or something like that.
Yeah, Caprino or whatever. Yeah,
Caprino. Yeah, more like a cup of my foot. But I think it's them telling them to be honkish. Hey, we have so many people watching these games, from out of market, and you need to be as honkish as possible. This is our brand. But AM 830, that's only our guys. People who live in the SoCal, they're listening to AM 830. Even though it's owned by Artie, they can say whatever they want. Who's going to fire Mark Langston or Mr. Grills? Who's going to do that? No one.
Yeah, I think Terry's in it till he can't speak anymore. Terry's earned that rightfully so. Mark Langston is putting his time too. Angel great. So yeah, I don't think you're going to tell those guys to shut up.
Yeah, you can't shut any of those guys down. I mean, that's insane. But also, I hate to say this, Fletcher's my guy. He's been my guy since I've really been an Angel fan, and since he's been called up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Fletch is gone this season. He's being traded. He's being traded in a package. I hate everyone that likes him. Not hates him. I hate it as much as everyone that likes him. It sucks, but I think he's gone. I know you talked about it a little bit ago, but like, this is it. I mean, he's been sent down. He's a Billy Epler guy. That's who he's drafted by, and Perry is kind of getting rid of all those guys, practically rebuilding his system with his own guys that he trusts and all that. So it's gonna be a sad day until Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think he's gone.
He's literally putting his stamp on this franchise. Perry's like, if you're gonna know I'm the GM by me doing this, and that, and it's working. So I mean, I'm not gonna question the greatness. So if he's doing it and we're winning and the culture's changing, again, the most impressive thing I heard Perry say besides what he said today was 2 years ago when he drafted all his pitchers and MLB Network was laughing at him, and he goes, I don't appease to anybody else. I draft players that fit the Angel way. And I'm like, the Angel way used to be a joke, but he's made it now to where it means something. We want players to adopt the Angel way, and we want players with good, strong upbringings. He made it a point to say, hey, man, if they got two parents, I don't care if it's two women, two men, a man and a woman. If they're raised right, I want a good family home for these kids. I want these kids to be growing up right, fully supported by their family. I want their family to be at all their games. I don't want this kid struggling and this, that. I mean, like, it's just the way that they're doing things. They're getting the right mentality. They're actually checking out these players and saying, okay, this guy's not a fuck up. He's not a Rendon. He's not a psycho. And it's good. They're doing their homework. Whereas before, Epler's like, oh, that guy looks good. And he didn't care that if he murdered two people, or he didn't care that he came from a broken home, or he had a drug issue. Epler was just like, get him. Like, he looks buff. That's why we had shitty draft after shitty draft.
I mean, the way that I see it, that I envision it going on in the front office is a Moneyball situation where all the scouts and Billy Epler are like, geez, this guy looks hot, and they're going to draft him. But, Perry is like, oh, geez, what was his name? What was the actor's name? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill. Like, that is Perry Manassian coming in and being like, no, we're drafting these guys because these guys work. This guy hits. This guy gets on base. We're going to use actual statistics to get this guy. And then Epler is just all the other scouts being like, oh, this guy's hot. This guy's batting 187, but he looks hot, so we're going to draft him.
Yep. I mean, it was broken from the start, Epler's way. So when Epler was parted, I didn't shed a tear. I was like, Dad, that shit should have happened 2 years prior. Should have been fired 2 years prior. He was a terrible GM, and the epitome of a yes man. Like, if you want to see Roger Lodge as a GM, that was Billy Epler, and you're seeing it in New York, because in New York it's just like Cohen's like, get that guy. Here's a blank check, just get him. And Epler's like, yes, sir. Okay. And that's it. Like, there was no rhyme or reason to get it Verlander and Scherzer, but the Mets did it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. I was about to say, you basically took the words out of my mouth, but there's a reason why the Mets are losing so bad. Is one, they got a horrible GM, Billy Epler, and two, it's just when you're over here signing checks and getting these players who honestly shouldn't even be on the same team, like, you got to get pieces that work. And if you get all these superstar names like Billy Epler did with Anthony Rendon, Albert Pujols, and God, even Josh Hamilton and all that, like, you can't get those big names and expect them to play good. You have to go out there and draft and look at players who are good.
And you have to see if the free agents fit what you're doing. Like, every team has to have a direction. The Angels never had a direction until Perry got a hold of this team. They were just like, let's just throw stuff against the wall, see if it sticks. And you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta spend your money wisely, and if you get this big player and the big name, then you don't have enough money to get other good players. I mean, like that's why I'm surprised that we got Lucas Giolito. I mean, we needed him. Basically, we needed a whole other starting pitcher, which we got. I mean, I'm surprised we went over the luxury tax with the way that Artie's been doing, because I mean, Scotch is not cheap. So
no, it's not.
We're lucky we even did that.
Yeah, it's like, and you want to talk about how much he has to pay the cleanup crew to keep mopping the office and wherever he's at when he speaks. I mean, that's a lot of money. He has to have his own personal cleaner come with the Windex for the windows and for the mop and bucket, and they gotta, soak up all that saliva. That's it's not cheap.
Yeah, it's like that movie Monsters Inc. with the that snail lady, and how when she would like the big one that says "I'm always watching," that one.
Oh, you mean the one
like
that
when
goes,
she goes, it's just
Artie Moreno, I'm always watching you.
It's I would imagine it's like that, where like it's just like a slime trail, but it's just all spit.
See, now I can picture it. I was like, where's he going with this? Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, my man. Well, appreciate the call, veteran. Tell your dad stop blowing it like Bally's.
All right, I'll tell him not to, and then I'll tell him that ToddFox is his #1 enemy now.
Nah, don't tell him that. Just tell him it's his fault. Ohtani blew it today.
All right, see you, Todd.
You got it. Later. All right, that's better right there. If you want to call in, 714-598-3221. It's Your Voice says his fan base has got to do better, realizing these guys got to go. I can never get emotional with these guys, to be honest, but more power to those that are some players that aren't a fit and are not the winning type of guys. Exactly, Todd. People forget how good Drury was before he got hurt. He was killing it before the hitters. It was right. It's the Halo Honk line. Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost the call right there. Let's see. Terry needs a new. It's the Halo Honk line. Hello? Hello? I think we're having phone issues there on that line. Let's see. Showtime says, I think the fluke win against the Tigers. It was a fluke win against the Tigers. Now the Angels will play a real team. Balls, and Halo Honk line. Here we go again. Let's see if the third time's a charm. It's the Halo Honk line.
What's up, Todd?
There you are, Eric. How you doing, my man? Can you hear me?
And I can't really hear you very well, buddy. How you doing?
Okay. Let's see. Fabio says, I'm pretty sure we trade Renfroe and Renifo for a pitcher. Keep Moniak in the lineup. You got to keep him in the lineup. 17-game hitting streak. Let's see. Fans have to be better when Halos come home.
I'll call you right back, okay?
Okay. He's having problems with his call right there. I always take Eric's call. Eric's a good guy. Fan base has to be better when the Halos come back to town and make it really, really good for Ohtani. Mateo, I think you have Renfroe going to first, Moniak to right field. Exactly, Robert. Sean says, report Seattle Mariners will be sellers at the deadline, and that's weird. That is weird because of... It's the Halo Honk line.
Hello.
What is going on? Who's this?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Is this the Halo Honk line?
This is.
Hey, Halo Honk line. I'm looking to voice my opinion on something.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Are you there?
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go for it, man. Let's hear it.
All right, good. You want me to tell you, or can I just, or do I wait for
no,
go online?
No, go for it, man.
No, I just want to talk about Trout. I see that. I think that's the elephant in the room is that Trout is every time Trout goes on the DL or IL, the Angels put together like winning streaks. Like they play better, they play with more purpose and direction, and everybody just keeps talking about waiting for Trout to come back. But I prefer he doesn't come back. You know,
well,
I don't know why everybody keeps thinking Trout is like the end all be all when he's not. I think he's a detriment to the Angels. Actually, he messes with the flow. You know, the flow of the team, what they're trying to do.
He was mostly like that for most of the season. He was not.
What's that?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so Trout was like that for most of the season. He was it seemed like he was striking out too much, dead weight, no hitting with runners in scoring position. The only difference was about a week or two before he got hurt, he started to turn it around a bit. And I'm thinking now with a better lineup, like your Moustakas, your Moniak's hitting better, Drury back in the lineup, Neto there, Ohapi there, less pressure will be on him. I think he was feeling the pressure. He was not, adjusting his swing. He started to adjust it and lay off those fastballs outside. So I'm optimistic. Look, I see your point. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just hoping that he's better, because if he's good, just good Trout, along with what we're seeing from Ohtani and everybody else, that's a huge boost. But if he's back to the Trout that was Trout in May and June, yeah, I see your point. I don't want him back.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's also to not put that much on Trout. The thing is that I think people wait on his leadership. Like the other players, whoever was there, the Epler guys, like they're just waiting on Trout's leadership, like for him, like, and we already know he's not a leader, and so they're waiting on him. But with these new guys, people, hey man, they're just taking the reins and going. They're playing ball, and hopefully Trout could join in on that, and start producing and maybe not feel so pressured. Maybe that's it. I'll cut him some slack. I'll say maybe he doesn't like pressure, and that's why he's in Anaheim, but he does need to start producing though,
Oh, absolutely, because I much rather see these guys have pressure because they're in the postseason or they're playing for postseason, because we've gone too long as Angels fans with no pressure because we're never in it. So, this is the push that I'm hoping. Like, I don't think Perry's done. I think we got at least 2 more moves coming. Yeah. So I want to see what he does.
I don't think the Angels are done either, but I just hope that when Trout does, I honestly don't like Trout. Mm-hmm. This is our Martinez, by the way. I don't like Trout, but I always have a little spot open for him still. If he can do something, good. But I'm just tired. I've been waiting on him for years, man, and it gets tiring, man. It gets boring. It gets like more of the same, and I want him to start producing because we need him. And he's not a leader at the same time. We acknowledge that he's not a leader. And then the other day I heard him talking on the Mookie Betts podcast or something. He said, "Yeah, I'm not seeing the ball. I'm not hitting nothing." And it's like, yeah, you admit it, but let's do something about it. Let's get it done. And I don't know, man. I just want Trout to come up. But I'm also not. I just get tired of waiting on him, though. I've been tired of waiting on him. And also, not only that, but people just keep calling him like the best, And I don't think he's the best. I don't know why people. I know a lot of you guys already have like Trout jerseys. Mm-hmm. I never got a Trout jersey, never even once, because I wanted him. There was something he was lacking, and I didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to tell the press. I didn't want to listen to Angel fans and the press telling me like that he's the best. I was like, no. You got to prove it to me. You got to prove it. I got to see it. I can't just call him the GOAT and the best. He really wasn't doing much.
Yeah,
so, anyway,
our Martinez, it's good.
I'm venting.
No, it's good to hear from you, because again, this is the first time calling, and you're always on the the messenger or the chat, and I like your comments. So it's and everyone else does too. But I have to agree with you, because at a certain point you want your player to grow, because I think Trout stunted his own growth. He made all these accolades. He got these silver sluggers. He got these, what's it called? Gold gloves, stuff like that. Okay, but what's the next chapter in your career? You know, like are you going to stay that 5-tool player that puts up numbers but doesn't get to the playoffs? And he hasn't been to the playoffs. He's not a leader. Like, at least if you're not making the playoffs, become a leader in the clubhouse. And he's never matured to that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you asked me a question because you were breaking up. I couldn't hear you very well. But
no,
yeah. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna get off because I can hear you very faintly. So.
Oh, it's okay, right, man. It sounds like you're busy with a child over there.
I'll call back some other time too.
All right, no worries, Martinez. Good to talk with you, my man.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, you got it. All right, later. All right, that's Martinez right there. It's the Halo Honk Line.
Hey, Roger. Hello.
Who's this?
Hey, it's your boy, Big Art.
What's going on?
I just want to call and tell you, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Okay. Appreciate that.
That's it.
Well, I love it.
Wow, winning.
Wait a minute. This is ToddFox.
It sure is.
I know you. You're the guy that talks poop about me all the time. Guess who's laughing now? 40 wins in a row.
Oh, man. You know what, Artie? Can you send me a case of scotch?
Hey, I'm here now. You want me now? It's your big interview now. You think you're too cool for school. But I got news for you, Walter Cronkite. You aren't. That's from Zoolander. That movie should have won an Academy Award.
Are you gonna be okay? Do you need to throw up in one of those paper bags or the toilet? I was gonna go to my friend Roger's house. He used to come over my house all the time. He used to hang out. We would play shoots and ladders, and he never comes over anymore. He always says he's too busy. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Well, I think he's with John.
John Stamos choked on me.
It is. Oh,
yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Anyway, here's your big interview now, big boy. Do it. Ask me some questions.
Okay, Artie, are you going to continue to spend over the budget and luxury tax? Or how many more good players are we going to get? Artie.
Yeah.
Did you hear
my favorite color is blue. That comes Dodgers because I don't like the Dodgers. They can go to hell.
Wow,
it's all about
winning.
the LA Angels. Come on down to LA Angel Stadium and buy your tickets. I gotta.
Artie, it's only 7:56. How can you be this drunk?
Hey, it's never too early. Hold on a second. Whew, that was a wind out of me there. It's never too early to get started. Hey, I'm at the top of the world. What a trade this last week. Credit goes to me.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have Giolito. That's for sure.
Hey, if I didn't hire, what's his name, Potassium, he would have got that deal done.
Yeah, Potassium's a great GM. I mean, what a great move by you signing him as well.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
I'm here taking darts to the face. Everybody hates me all of a sudden. Oh, I lower the beer prices. Everyone's my friend. And then I have 20 years of no success, and all of a sudden everybody hates me now.
Yeah, I mean, go figure, man. I mean, that's welcome to America. I mean, that's what we do.
Well, I'm sitting on top right now. I've got the world on a string. I'm sitting on a rainbow. Got this string around my finger. Ooh, what have I been holding?
You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't smell your finger right now. But I just have a feeling though that this reality check's going to come to you at some point. You know what I mean? Like maybe you should have sold the team. $3.5 billion is a lot of money.
Can you hear baseball?
I used to, yes.
Great. 10 years, $500 million. How does it feel to be an angel? How does it feel to be an angel, pal?
When's the press conference? I'm in. I'm your guy. I'll be I'll be a bootlicking houseman.
Hey, I'm out here giving away free money. The Joker from the 1989 Batman.
What the fuck is going on, dude? That's freaking hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mr. Moose says my stream stopped. I think we're still going. Are we? Did Artie cut us? Oh, there we go. Same, it stopped. Or maybe Artie cut the line right there. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. How do you follow that? It's the Halo Honk line.
Man, that's a hard one to follow right there, Artie.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It sucks to be you. How do you fucking follow Artie Moreno?
I'm going to shotgun a couple beers real quick, and then we'll get talking about baseball.
How you doing?
But, hey, man, it's a great series. I know it's only the Tigers, and really shouldn't be too happy about it. But since I wanted to comment on the art thing about Trout, and, hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I agree, and I've said it before. Mike Trout of 23 is not the Mike Trout of the past.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, mine is today. Man, I'd rather have Mike Trout at the dish than Hunter Renfroe.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
To be honest, and yeah, we talked about you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, he's not a leader in the clubhouse. He leads by example, by putting in work and all that stuff. And there's some guys just like that, right? Look at Mickey Mantle, opposite way a little bit, right? He wasn't a leader in the clubhouse. He'd like to go party too much. So
correct.
There's give and takes for all these great players, right? Everyone has their flaws. No one's perfect except for Shohei Ohtani. But it's just a hard act to follow, right? For a guy like that, he's just quiet to himself and everything. But I think we're just fine with him on the right track. I don't think he's going to mess with the mojo. Only if Devin's philosophy keeps up. You don't put him back at number 2 spot right now. I hate to say it, you drop him to 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see that because with all the protection coming back, because again, I mean, Ohapi's the wild card for me. I think we know what we got with Drury when he comes back. But if Ohapi can come back anywhere close to where he was and start driving the ball, getting on base, because he was walking too. And all these guys are going to be on base dancing around the bases for Ohtani and Trout. And that's got to take the pressure off of them because now it's like, well, I don't really have to go deep. I just need to hit it where they're not. You know, and that could bring in some runs. That could, the Angels can fuck up and score some runs.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, before the trade deadline or before they announced that Ohtani was going anywhere or wasn't going anywhere, excuse me, the weight of the world was on these players, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, we got to keep Ohtani. We got to be there for him, right? We got to try to step up when we can. Ohtani put the team on his back, carried him all this way, and it just looks good. I like Trout going out injured. I hate to say it that way. It gave Mickey Moniak a time to shine, right? The spotlight's on him. So we get to see what we have here. But, Todd, one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
We need one more pitcher, everyone keeps saying, right? One big trade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all these teams are going for prospects only. Who's a one starter right now, 1 through 9, that you would give up to get a pitcher?
Oh, it's such a good question. Because your number one to go to would be Adele, but he's not a starter. If it's a guy on the freaking team, shit. Again, Renfroe's stock is down. You're not going to trade Neto. Damn, dude, that's a really good question. I mean, if it's a can't-miss guy, you're not going to give him even on Moniak. You would have to make a pretty big package, and putting me on the spot, I'd have to say the biggest guy you can get from as a starter right now would probably be Renifo. And that's not saying much. I mean, because...
Yeah, I mean, cause it's nice to give away prospects, but like the Angels have learned, sometimes prospects don't always work out to major leaguers.
Yeah. I mean, Angel Central says Canning or Ward. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Ward would probably be the best bet. Then I'm mistaken.
Yeah, it's just tough. I just wanted to throw it out there, man. And great show as always, man. And hopefully keep this winning streak going.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Robert. Appreciate all your. We got to get you on a podcast again too, because I always get good feedback when you're on, dude. You go in pretty in depth.
I got to win the lottery, man, so I don't have to work anymore.
Well, tell me when you have some free time. Damn it.
You have kids, you know how that is.
Yeah, but mine are all grown up. You're dealing with the youngsters that get into everything. You got your own little trout running around.
Yeah, for sure.
Good luck with that, my man.
All right, brother. Thanks, man. I'll see you.
Right, you got it. Later. That's Robert right there. Let's see. Throwing Ward and Adele. I could easily see that happening. Showtime says even 10 years, $700 million will not guarantee an Ohtani will sign with the Angels. Absolutely. Nathan says, Todd, what do you think about my trade for the 2 players of the Brewers? I like that trade, by the way. It's not a bad trade because you're getting contact players. It's the Halo Honk line.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hello?
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 Can you hear me? Hello? Boy, what is going on with the phones? Because some people can hear. Here we go. Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you sound a little away, but I can still hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'll try to fix that right now. Go for it, man.
Dude, I predicted it, bro. 8-1 on the road.
Oh, is this
so far?
Is this Nathan?
Huh?
Is this Nathan?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Nathan, right? Hello?
Dude, okay, no, I lied. I can't hear you. Let me call you right back. 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. Why is the phone thing? Hold on. The audio was low. I don't know why that is. Shouldn't be a problem. That's weird. Because, again, I have it on the right settings. Again, if you guys saw that we had a freaking stream the other day, that was literally my computer turning on itself. I have a fucking ghost in here. I don't know how. I had to tell Steve Lease to turn it off because I'm like, why are we live in the middle of the day? And then I saw a lot of people were like, did you butt stream this thing? I'm like, no, I'm not even home. I'm at work. Nobody came in the studio, and it was pretty much running itself. That shit's crazy. That, like, I was like, dude, there's something on. There's something going on. Let me see if I don't know why the audio is bad. There should not be a problem with you guys hearing me. I don't know why that is. Let's see. Is it only on the calls? Because it shouldn't. I should have pretty much good sound. I don't know why. Because it says everything's up all the way right here. Let's see. It's the Halo Honk line.
What's up, Todd?
Can you hear me okay?
No.
No. Hold on a second. Let me try something else. Damn it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but how you doing tonight?
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's this fucking cord. All right, so what's up, Eric?
Oh, not much. How y'all doing?
I'm good. Much better that we got the 2-game sweep. That was really good.
Yep. Hey, the coach, probably the player of both games today would have to be Shohei.
Yeah, I got him for the Stamos and winner for both games.
Nice.
Yep.
Yep, I feel like if it's not Seattle, you guys will be the next team.
I hope so. I mean, it's weird because have you heard anything? Because there was someone that came on here that said Seattle. I think Sean said Seattle is what is it called? They're sellers. They're going to say they're sellers.
Well, I don't know. We might be buying. It
Yeah.
could be like right down the middle, maybe.
Well,
because we'll
go ahead.
We're kind of like with you guys. We're in that big group with you guys. So
yeah.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like they have Seattle is much like the Angels this year. Like they've been pretty much in most of their games, and but it's just their pitching hasn't come through. They've been very inconsistent, as you know. So the thing that worries me is that they might come up to take the spot that we thought we were going to get, and that's where I'm scared about.
Well, I tell you, but with Giolito, he's going to be a pretty good piece for you guys.
Yeah, it's really, really going to depend on what we can do in this Toronto series, because if we look at it right now, Houston's got a game lead over Toronto, and then Boston's only a game and a half out of them. 2.5 out is the Yankees. We're sitting there 3 out, and then you guys are only 4.5 out. So you're within striking distance. But do you guys buy or sell? You guys are a little bit behind us, so I don't know, man. You guys got a series with Arizona. That's going to be tough.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a tough series, but I feel like we're going to do okay, and I'm going to be, I got family that lives in Arizona also, so I'm going to be happy either way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you won't be on the losing end, basically, right?
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to lose a game in that series.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it was great. I mean, Ohtani looked really good today. He was in control, and then he didn't hit in the first game, and it was ironic that he just came out and blasted the ball twice in the second game.
Yep.
So I like what they're doing right now.
Yep, and then I'm just kind of laying low type thing.
You're laying low right now?
Yeah. We found out a couple of days ago. My dad went to a convention with my mom for a few days last week. Somebody through that had corona, so now he's got that.
Is he okay?
He's doing okay. Yeah. This is the second time now that this has happened.
Oh, but you got to watch it with your conditions, right?
Yeah, and I think we've already had it at least once on my end, and then we just had to wait it out and see what was going to happen, and now we're just kind of laying low for a little bit here until maybe Sunday or Monday until he can get another test going. Yep.
I think you should be all right, man. Just if you take your meds, you should be fine.
Yeah, we're definitely taking the meds. In fact, the thing about work is that lately I've not had to really wear a mask as much at work, but I'm still going to be wearing one tomorrow because of everything that's been going on over here.
Yeah. We'll just got to be careful and hunker down and watch some baseball. That'll get you through it.
And then let's see here. So, this is going to be probably the biggest series of the year for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely huge because if worse comes to worse, they put us out of our misery, even with all these trades. If not, we're right back in the thick of things, and we could be thinking, because again, Texas and Houston are fighting with each other. They're going to lose some games, and there's a chance we can catch up there too. So yeah, absolutely, it's a huge series.
And this was in Toronto, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I mean that's gonna probably be, if there was ever anything that would be kind of signaling to me, but it might not be the best of days. It's that right there, because we know Toronto can get people in the stands.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be sold out from what I'm hearing. So it's the
okay.
Angels' only appearance there. So yeah, the tickets went pretty quick. Yeah, it says right now. I just clicked on the Blue Jay Stadium. Tickets are sold out. So.
Oh boy, yeah, that's probably not a good sign, then, because it means that they have like a 10th man type thing.
Oh yeah, and you know, as Seattle fans, I mean, playing in Toronto, I mean, you guys beat them last year, but that was a tough series, and their fans are pretty crazy. So, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's.
And you know,
okay.
The funny thing about that game, that second game of the playoffs, when we felt like way behind, that was when my dad got it for the first time.
Oh, so he was battling it during the playoffs. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he was battling it. I mean, he had high school reunions, because coming through that had it, and then through all that, then my mom got it, and we were thinking that I was like home free, because the first one we took came back like negative, but my dad's like, well, let's go get an actual test, get like a test that gives more information. And that second one came back positive. Yep.
But at least you got it when everyone's like, most everyone had the shots, and like it's died down, because it was strong in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's because
and you know, and the good thing about it is, even with all the shots, I mean, but we've been taking and all. I mean, you can still get it. Hey, speaking of shots, who was Audi?
With what?
Now Audi called in. Who won the match?
I don't know, but that was a hell of an impression. I thought that was pretty damn funny.
It's like, who's this?
That was super good. Yeah. All right, well, I appreciate the call, man. Best of luck to your father. Hopefully he's okay, all right?
No problem.
You got it, bud. We'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, that's Eric right there. Yeah, Fabio, if you want to call in right now, because it seems like the sound is good, and then be the last call. It's the Halo Honk line.
What did you hang up on me for? You scared?
Oh, shit. Artie's back.
Hey, I'm glad you got your phone fixed. I couldn't understand what you were saying.
I can barely understand a word you're saying.
What? I'm speaking perfect English. Do you want me to speak to you in Spanish? I can do that.
Yeah, actually, you fell asleep on me, and then you screwed up the sound because the stream went out for some people.
I just streamed for you, pal.
No, I didn't say you screamed. I said the stream went out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you
hold
all right
on
now?
a second. Hold on. I got something about. Hold on. Ooh, I'm gonna name that one.
What color was
it? Question. Your name is Fred. Hi, Fred. Woo! I'm the king of the world right now. World Series bound.
We still have 2 months to play, bro, and we're you know.
What?
Do I still get that check that you promised?
Oh, this isn't. What year is this?
So
is it 2006?
I take it that you didn't sign me to a contract?
Who's this?
This is Todd Fox, dude.
Oh, I thought this was Roger.
It's not
Todd
Roger.
Fox! I know you. You're the guy that hates me. And let me tell you something.
Uh-huh.
lost my train of thought. When I remember, I'm going to give you an earful.
Okay. I'll be waiting. I'm right here. You know where to find me.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
Hey. I just want to tell you, man. Not in a gay way, but I love you, man.
Okay. I mean.
Yeah. No, hey, I don't swing that way, but I love you, man. You're the top. You're like up there with like Patrick Swayze and Bob's Big Boy. Hey, have you ever seen that movie Poltergeist 2? When Coach throws up that old guy?
Coach?
Yeah, he's in a movie, and he throws up that old guy, and he starts crawling on the floor, and his hot wife starts screaming.
Yeah, it's a classic.
That is. I thought we had something in common. Anyway, I just want to call and say good luck with the Mets. I hope that your show does well, because I think you're doing a good thing promoting my team, San Angeles Angels. I can't wait to get out there spring training. I can't wait. Hey everyone!
The season starts tonight.
Word on the street. Season started 4 games ago. Woo! Woo! I'm on top right now, man. I'll drill any chick within a 5-mile radius right now.
But you got a wife though.
Oh, she's cool. Oh, yeah. You know, they say behind every great man is a great woman, and behind her is his wife. Woo! Oh, man. Crack one open for me tonight, Todd, because I'm going to get plastered. This is the pregame with James right here. That's what you're hearing, the pregame.
This is James.
That's what this is. I'm the reincarnated James, but in being drunk. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't think...
Hey, do you like anime? Where am I?
Not really.
Where? Why am I in the garage? Where am I? Anyway, hey, I'm out of breath because I was jogging right now with a fist of Jim Beam. I was jogging. I chugged that sucker down because, you know, you got to stay hydrated because you can't go out because it's hot outside right now. You can't go outside. Yeah.
Drink water, not scotch, dude.
Yeah, I have an uncle. His name's Frank. We found him underneath a truck because he was dehydrated and he was trying to find shade. I told him, dude, you need to drink more Jim Beam. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, good night. I'm going to go party.
Okay.
It starts 4 games ago. Whoa. Whoa.
Get some rest, okay?
Oh. What's that?
Wow, dude! Not only once, but twice Artie calls. That's some crazy stuff right there. I guess with that, we'll call it a night. Damn, I don't know where to go from here. We've been on almost 2 hours and had Artie Moreno twice. Yeah, well, he'll have to call in. Hopefully, a little less plastered next time, and hopefully away from any children and women. That's for sure. Arizona Diamondbacks are no more with Bally's. Yeah, I remember that. That's pretty much over. But before we get out of here, I gotta play this song because again, we're playing it while we're winning, and we're winning. Tomorrow, people.